It's very late. I get that. I was at work. I was broadcasting some local junior hockey games on the air, so I had to miss a good amount of important information on this Canucks game. I just got home. And honest to God, this Canucks game was just so bad for me because I only saw the first two periods. And if you watched the entire game, you'd know that for the first two periods, they were really just not good. Lazy in their own zone, not really getting chances in the offensive zone. Anders Nielsen totally stood on his head in the first two periods that I was watching. Braden Point got himself a goal, and that was the only action of goal scoring that I had seen. And we had a lot of power plays where Boeser wasn't shooting, where Pettersson wasn't shooting, where Edler was just driving the net on flat shots from the point, and they weren't really doing anything. Power play 1, I was absolutely frustrated with. PP2, I was like, okay, they're doing pretty well. I like Goldolbin and what he does, but other than that, they're still getting the same results as Power Play 1, and that's 0 goals. Overall, I was just very dissatisfied with my viewing. But right after I left home to go to my own real-life hockey broadcast that I had to do, the Vancouver Canucks started scoring, and it was the guys that we all wanted to score. I'm going off of this just based off of the highlights that I can find online. I did not watch this live, but I got the notifications on my phone and I was like, oh my god, it's happening. Elias Pettersson did it again. He gets himself his 4th National Hockey League goal and his 7th NHL point in 4 games played. He is now tied with a lot of other players for like 10th in the league in scoring. He had a really just nasty tip. It was a wild shot from the point. Derek Pouliot absolutely flexes it. It's up high, it's displaced heavily within the atmosphere of the arena. It's just going up in a straight line and it hits Pettersson, basically as he's like jumping up, and it goes in. And everybody, presumably, watching from home goes like, oh my god, Pettersson just scored again. That was my reaction upon getting the notification on my phone. If I had to guess, that was probably the reaction of every one of you guys who are Vancouver Canucks fans sitting at home and watching this game live. And I got the notification while at work, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to rush home, make a video about this, aren't I? Pettersson is at 7 points. Hallelujah. But then just like a minute or two later, I check my phone again, it goes off while I'm in the middle of broadcasting. And Brock Boeser is listed as a goal scorer. An unassisted goal from Brock Boeser. And I was like, he did it! Brock Boeser has a goal! It was just like a minute later! And Brock, he scores! So I checked it, I quickly just loaded it up, and I was like, okay, I need to watch this. What was his first goal of the season like? And the puck is loose, it's on the end boards, jumbled through players, it's free for like a second or two, Brock just comes up, winds up, absolutely one-time slaps it down from far out beyond the face-off circle. It goes in past Andrei Vasilevsky. Brock Boeser with an amazing celly. Just the culmination of 3 games worth of not scoring. And he gets one here. And everybody is happy. I saw Twitter. Everybody was happy. Everybody just started blowing up my timeline. And I was like, man, what a terrible game for me to miss, but I was like, it's fine, it's for the job. I just honestly have an issue with the NHL. Why schedule 12 games on a Thursday and schedule 0 games on a Friday the next day? Seriously, check things out. There were like 12 games on October the 11th, all starting from like 4 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, and there were 0 games scheduled for tomorrow, October 12th? Why? Who cares if you're trying to compete with college football? Just schedule the games normally. But I digress, I missed the game, and I know that's kind of where my frustration is coming from, but Brock is back, baby. The Brock Star is back in business, getting goals, scoring absolute beauts like he was in the Beauty League. Brock is back. Prince Charming, Flo, absolutely everywhere. I know I called him out, and I was like, yeah, no, you were bad in the first few games. That game against Carolina, I was like, no, Boeser, no, it's not working. This Tampa Bay game in the first 2 periods, I was like, no, Boeser, just shoot more, it's not working. I saw him take 1 shot in the power play in the second period, and I was like, yes, he finally shot it, but it went wide. At least he shot it. That's step 1, because he wasn't doing that throughout the entire game when I was watching, but of course he does it when I'm not watching. Absolutely one-times it, a fantastic slapper, one-timer, on net, in the goal, 1 goal for Brock Boeser. Sealing the deal up later, though, Marcus Granlund and Jake Virtanen, 2 empty netters. I'm actually really just shocked that they were able to score this many, because I started getting the notifications on my phone. I got the first one and I was like, oh, Jake scored, nice! And then I looked at the time and I was like, oh, it's a minute something left. Empty net? Wait, the game's almost over and it's 3-1? What? And then I just got a notification a little bit later, like a minute something less than that later, of Marcus Granlund getting an empty net goal as well with like 10 seconds left in the game. And this one was also one where he was basically in alone. He just like lackadaisically guided the puck into the net. A breakaway on an empty net. Marcus Granlund, you couldn't screw that up. He's got himself a goal as well. So obviously one of the most hyped games of the year, just from the fact that Pettersson and Boeser both scored. Honestly, it wasn't really worth it. Like, the first 2 periods alone, I didn't like that at all. But getting that spam of notifications, mentions on Twitter, retweets, messages, and just the Sportsnet notifications, that gave me enough joy to carry me on through the rest of this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Plus, the process on gaming, and bye.